we've got music going and everything the whole time. Hello, everybody. So excited to have you here for the Menopause Made More Joyful show. My name is Dawn Chubai, and our DJ in the house is Lauren, getting that music going. And everything the whole time. Hello, everybody. I think, Lauren, you might have your volume up, but that's okay. Sorry, everybody, for the few little technical glitches as we get started. Our DJ in the house is Lauren, getting that music going. And everything the whole time. Hello, everybody. I think, Lauren, you might have your volume up, but that's okay. There we go. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Apparently, Instagram now lets you have streaming sound, where in the past it never has been done. So apologies. That was me that had the extra sound going and me doing the DJ. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Are you having a great day so far? Hopefully you are, and hopefully today is the day that you make the change that is necessary so that you can have a more joyful menopause and perimenopause. And if you are not at that stage, then you know what we want to do? We want to get you to a point of fitness. Fitness where? Not going to the gym. We want your personal trainer for your vagina. We are talking about the vFit today. We've got Lauren, yes, who is moderating from our fabulous headquarters in Seattle at Joylux. And we've got a few people that are already making their way on the feed. So we welcome you there. And if you're watching on social media, I want to just let you know it's very difficult for us to check all the different comments that are happening everywhere. So we just invite you to join us at one location, joylux.com/pages/streams. The easiest thing is actually just go to the Joylux website, where you will see our show pop up. And from there, we'll check all of the comments and hopefully demystify and destigmify, is that a word? All the things that we're going through at this time of our life, which doesn't have to be, well, it doesn't have to suck. We can actually make it more joyful with the help of Joylux. So today we've got bundles, we've got options for you when it comes to your vFit devices. We've got essentially our classic modes, which come in the white or the rose gold with exclusive bundles. And we've also got our plus version, which is the one that Halle Berry is all about. Hello, North Sea. Welcome. Happy to have you here. And please, if you're on the feed right now, let us know where you're watching from. If you're willing to share the time of life you're in, we'd love to hear it. And yeah, you just saw Halle Berry pop up there, and we're going to get to the plus device coming up in a bit. But Halle Berry herself has said that this is the game changer that every woman must have. And do you know that she actually, and this device actually won an award, a Menopause Award, as innovation and what is going to help women have a more, I'm going to say, substantial period of joy during this time of their life. Yeah. And by the way, Halle Berry is a part of the Joylux family with her incredible Let's Spin lube, which we'll get to in a little bit as well. And you weren't seeing anything. That was Oprah there. Hello, Luann, New York, and North Sea from North Carolina. Awesome. Great to see you here. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, we're here to answer all of them. But let's talk about the vFit and who it is for. First of all, if you are a woman who wants to maintain all the things that typically age, or if you're somebody who has started to see your vagina age, then the vFit is for you. Again, as we go through this, I want you to think of this as your personal trainer. So what happens with our body in general and our skin and our tissue as we age? Well, we always see it on our face. We see the sagging, we see the lack of collagen, often the lack of tissue laxity, or we see tissue laxity. Well, a lot of that happens also in our intimate areas. So right up until we hit kind of around that 35 to 55 years, things do start to sort of diminish, right? So we see a diminishment of the collagen, which is that bounce back, which is that juiciness and plumpness like we see in a grape. We start to feel a little bit more like a raisin. We lose our ability to produce hyaluronic acid the way we once did. Yes, we actually produce hyaluronic acid naturally. And today we've got a whole toolkit to help you navigate all that happens to us as we age. So enter the vFit. I've got the plus model up here right now. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll pull up one of essentially our classic models. So the original vFit, this is the first one that I ever brought to market when I worked at the Shopping Channel. We sold out in one event, one show. But we also have the classic in the rose gold. And by the way, this is I'm going to say among the second time that we've presented the rose gold in the classic model as an option on its own. But not only that, we actually have a starter kit, sort of like a start here. And where did I put my there we go. Let me grab those. Here we go. We got our photonic wipes. I probably dropped everything. That was a miracle that I didn't. We got bundles for both of these with the photonic wipes. And honestly, if you're thinking like what's the best bundle out of the two, and then I'll get to how this works, I'm going to say grab the rose gold because it comes with the photonic wipes and you get the strawberry bag. How cute is that? My husband, I have to tell you, when I showed him this bag, he's like, that looks kind of like, I'm like, yeah, it does. So yeah, that's a great bundle we have for you. But the bundles mean nothing to you and it doesn't really sound very attractive unless you sit there and go, okay, but what's the product going to do for me? What is the vFit going to do? So while I show you this, I also want to introduce you to Colette. Colette is the founder of Joylux, and she used to manage a series, I'm going to call them like medi clinics, medical aesthetic clinics, where red light therapy, LED therapy, was used a lot of times on the face and other areas of body to help with aging and help with, again, the rejuvenation of restimulation of collagen, to help with tissue and all of that. And so when we look at I'm going to say the technology in the vFit, it stands to reason that this kind of makes sense for our intimate areas. And Colette, when she gave birth to her son, she was actually thrust into perimenopause and menopause. And so she thought to herself, like, what if we could do and help all the things that we help with on the areas people can see with the areas that people can't see, and yet affect so many women. 6,000 women today will go through and enter into perimenopause and menopause. And so the vFit was born. This was the original right here. And we do have it available on its own, but honestly, for a couple dollars more, you might as well grab the bundle. It's a starter bundle that we have that include the wipes. But more importantly, how does it work? So here's your device. These are all working the same way. So if you're looking at the shopping page that we're on right now as you're watching, and thank you. I see we've got, oh gosh, a number of you on here. Yes. Hi, Juan. Good to see you here. Hi, nice to see you. And someone just added the rose gold vFit starter kit. Good. Okay. I'm going to give you the lesson on how to use this right now. So they all work the same. The big difference between these ones and these ones is that the Plus model basically has some more features, some more advanced features, but how they are used is exactly the same. So more LED power, you get additional time up to 12 minutes instead of 10, 4 additional vibration modes, and then it's got that beautiful custom finish. Plus, comes in a red box, and you get actually a little note from Halle Berry. So I'll read that to you in a little bit, but you actually do get a nice note from Halle Berry to tell you why she wanted to partner with Joylux on the Plus model. But let me show you how they all work and basically what they're going to do for you. So let me grab the rose gold because it's so pretty. Who agrees that this is pretty? Oh, good. Marcia. Yes, I'm sharing how it works. Here we go. Let's go. So here is your vFit. They all work the same way as far as how to actually turn them on and how to use them. So here is the brain of the vFit. So everyone, when I used to present this at the shopping channel, the women's eyes went like, what am I doing with this area? This area is on the outside of your body, okay? The only part that you are inserting is right here up until the light. So let me show you. You're going to turn this on. And immediately you're going to see, Marcia, a green light. That is the on light. Nothing happens at this point. You press again to get your first treatment mode, which is 6 minutes. You press again to get your second treatment mode, which is 8 minutes. And then you press the button again for your third mode, which is 10 minutes. These two only go up to 10 minutes. And I shouldn't say only like it's a bad thing, but these two go up to 10 minutes. This one here goes up to 12 minutes and again has 4 additional vibration modes. So, hey, you don't hear or see the vibration yet. You're pressing the button and immediately, can you hear this? Vibration, several modes, so you can control the modes. Why is that important? I'm going to show you and tell you in just a second. And you should see the light go quite bright. It might have already, there it goes extra bright. This again, along with the vibration, and a 40 degrees Celsius gentle heat are the mechanisms that can help get you results like we have seen from women here. Imagine improved sensation, increased natural vaginal hydration, more confident, I'm going to say in and out of the bed, and also more improved intimate wellness. And as we sort of separate intimate wellness along with the other parts of our wellness, I want you to think of your intimate wellness as part of your overall sense of well-being. This is part of your health. So much so that this device, depending on your healthcare plan, might be covered by insurance. I can't speak for all of them, but that is the validation that the FDA has given, and also to the safety and efficacy of red light therapy. Now, you can turn the vibration off if you want, just for the purpose of sound right now. I'm going to turn it off, but it actually does have a purpose. So red light therapy is known to help with cellular regrowth. It helps with tissue repair. It helps with, again, all the things we just showed you. And to the same tune of what we often look for with those masks that we wear and buy for like $1,200, or the aesthetics office where they put us under sort of a red light lamp, the same kind of benefits in our intimate areas. But the vibration, the best way I can explain that is if you've ever been to a gym or you've seen an athlete go through like a physical therapy or a rehab, the vibration is meant to stimulate circulation. So think of even when you go to a medical aesthetics and they massage your face really vigorously, that's to stimulate the circulation. What happens when we stimulate our circulation, we start to get blood flow. So if you think of down there, we want the blood flow. The blood flow is going to help, again, with that, increase your natural hydration. It's also going to, again, bring life back there. So we, as we're young, we get lots of bounce back, right? So imagine this is our skin. Sorry, I don't have a regular colored balloon, but here we are. So everything bounces, right? We got nice and rosy cheeks and everything bounces back. And if you pinched your cheeks, it bounces back instead of, the sleep line that lasts there all day these days for me at 50, almost 54. As we age, we start to get more like a raisin. So what your vFit does with those mechanisms of the red light, of the vibration and the gentle heat, they get you closer to that grape state. So that is how we bring, again, the youth back to our vagina, which helps bring us more joy at the state of life where we're starting to see everything on our body dry up and become a little less plump and juicy. And in fact, it was funny, Halle Berry was talking to Oprah Winfrey when she brought her Let's Spin, which is the lubricant that she created along with Dr. Sarah, who is a board certified OBGYN and also has partnered and been a part of the Joylux brand since its infancy, I'm going to say, to help bring you the vFit. So we're really looking at, science, and we're looking at medical grade devices that get you the results. But she said to Oprah, she wanted to bring the Let's Spin because she wanted everyone to get back to having a juicy peach. I'm just going to look at the comments that we have, and Lauren is double dutying it today. So she's furiously and fast getting all the information. Oh, I'm happy I said your name right. It doesn't always happen, but I'm glad that I did. Okay, Jessica, I have 2 vFit because I want to have them in 2 locations. You have the Gold Plus subscription. Good for you. So for those of you, when you hear the term Plus, it's the same device, but it's basically a software upgrade. So if you pick up the Chrome version, that is already the Plus model. In fact, the Chrome version does not come in the original Classic. The other 2 that we have are the Classic, but they can be upgraded. So you can either upgrade an existing model if you purchased the Classic in the past, or if you're purchasing today and you're like, I really like the rose gold, I want all the things that the Chrome one does, then it's an upgrade of $99. So thank you. I'm glad to hear that. You said, and you use the app. Okay, perfectly. I'm going to let Lauren handle, apparently there's maybe sometimes you're dealing with a connection issue. Everything can be handled. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a reset, Jessica, but by all means, let's put up the information for the customer service on the screen whenever we get a chance. This is going to be your go-to, not only if you run into an issue maybe with connection, which sometimes is just a matter of you resetting, or if you just have questions in general on how the vFit works. Is it right for you? Hopefully we're going to navigate a lot of that here together. But any questions you have, the team at Joylux is absolutely brilliant. It's a female founded company. They know what you're going through, and there's nothing that you can't ask them that they haven't already heard. And remember, again, Dr. Sarah, in fact, let's put up the picture of Dr. Sarah, posts a lot on social media as well to help you navigate this state of your life. And it's not always just about the vFit or about the Let's Spin or about our vaginal moisture melt that we'll talk about in a bit. It just is in general of some of the questions she gets as a board certified OBGYN. You have friends in Joylux. I promise you, they are here to support you. Desiree, how long does vFit last? Okay. Yeah, so let me tell you that this is a device, right, that you're going to, first of all, when you use it, you're going to make sure that you get it home and you're going to give it a nice full charge. I know you'll be, really excited to try it right away, but give it a charge. You get the charger with it and you're just going to plug it in. I won't do it right now, but you can see the plug-in right there. You plug it in and immediately you hear like a little bzz, bzz, and then you'll see a light go on. And that basically tells you it's in charge mode. So when it's not fully charged, it'll start off kind of red, but when it's fully charged, you'll see it green. And then you unplug it and you're good to go, and it lasts for quite a long time. I usually have to charge mine every time I go live, just because I don't want it to die on us when we're here, because I'm using it so many times and turning it off and on. But I will tell you the charge lasts a very long time. I appreciate that Jessica says she has one in multiple, each location. And that is a really good tip. If you've maybe got a cottage somewhere, it's nice to have one wherever you're going to spend time. And then it's just as simple as keeping it handy, maybe in the bedside table. You are going to use this 6 minutes to start. And here, by the way, if I go too fast, everybody gets an instruction manual. Plus, there are details on the app, which everyone has access to, and also online. And again, you can always call customer service. So here's your applications session. So you're going to do weeks 1 and 2, 6 minutes every other day. Very easy to do. Weeks 3 to 6, 8 minutes every other day. And then 7 to 10, 10 minutes every other day. Now, some of you may get there faster. Maybe you're going to start with more of the intermediate plan. You're going to do what feels right for your body and what makes you the most comfortable. There are ways to get there faster, right? By maybe moving through the process a bit faster, but it's important that you kind of do this right and do this to your comfort level. Because if you don't feel good about it, you're less likely to stick with it, just like any fitness plan. So you can see I've turned it on. I've put it on, I believe, to 8. No, I put it on. Yes, I did put it on to 8. You're going to hold down that center button and immediately you'll hear the vibration and you'll see the light. Now look at those high-powered LEDs. Again, you're seeing red light, but it's more than that. You've got vibration and gentle heat. Now this will go quite bright in just a few seconds. You're going to see it just almost take over the whole screen. And what you're going to do is you're going to insert this, again, 6 minutes to start every other day for weeks 1 and 2, just up until the edge of the light into your vagina. And then you're going to just do what you like doing when you're relaxing. Maybe you're watching your show. Maybe you're checking your social media. Maybe you're having your morning coffee. It is such a small amount of time to dedicate, and you really shouldn't have to schedule extra time in your day if you consider multitasking. And by multitasking, I mean like reading a book or lazing around in bed for just 6 extra minutes. And that's every other day, to be able to get the kinds of results that we've shown you and to hear maybe testimonials that you can find right on the Joylux website. Hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from women just like you, life-changing, vaginal moisture increased with just a few sessions. Absolutely one of the best investments I've made ever in my health. Moisture, sensitivity, tissue health, and more. Look at the ages here, ladies. Look at the ages. How do you fit into some of these? I love Lauren at 61. My wish would be for every woman just to be able to have vFit. I'm so happy with the results in just a few weeks. And I see a few of you are adding to cart, which is awesome. That tells me that you're tired of dealing with the status quo. You're tired of dealing with the lack of natural hydration. You're tired of dealing with the pain during sex. You're tired of dealing with the laxity. You're tired of menopause in general. And you know that this is the one thing maybe that you can control that is non-invasive. So what are your other options? I'm going to hold the plus version right now, which is the Halle Berry version. Does not come in a bundle. So if I can recommend, you may wish to get the photonic wipes. This basically cleans your vFit. If you ever run out of these, of course, you can use a gentle soap, like a dish soap, and warm water. But these are really designed to support the materials that your vFit is made of, like the medical grade silicone, for instance. Okay. So those are worth picking up, but let me work it on the plus here right now. For those of you that are thinking, okay, what else could I do? Or what else maybe have I tried? Well, maybe you are on hormone replacement therapy. Just started it. Yeah, myself just started it, and it's helping a lot. It's helping a lot, but it's not inexpensive, and you have like an ongoing cost, monthly, yearly, probably for 10 years for many of us. Maybe you've looked at vaginal rejuvenation. Well, I'm going to say that's not necessarily non-invasive. I've never gone through it myself, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I suspect there may be a little downtime. I suspect, you've got to make appointments, you got to hop in a car. It would be, for some of us, doesn't feel as comfortable being in those situations. It's nice to take control yourself, which is why I love the vFit, because first of all, I've had people that I've sold the vFit to have their devices for more than 2 years, but let's just imagine it's a 2 to 3 year lifespan, which I don't think it's easy for us to put a quantity on that. But even at that $395, that's just if you pick up our classic. And for like $2 or $3, $6 more, I'm sorry, you're going to get the photonic wipes. The plus, obviously $100 more. But we start to look at not very much per use, and to be able to get benefits that you can use along with your hormone replacement, if you like. You can use it if you are going through some sort of treatments that don't allow you to do hormone replacement, and to get results that so many women have experienced. I'm curious, for those of you that have the vFit, because I know a few of you are on here and you had additional questions, how has it been working for you? How long did it take for you to start feeling better? I will tell you, doctors previously, when we look at the plus model, this kind of model was historically only available in the doctors or OBGYN offices. And so doctors and OBGYNs recommend this to their patients. Why? Because it's accessible, because it's non-invasive, and because it works and it plays nicely with other things you might be doing. We've got Dr. Sarah, again, who is part of the Joylux team, who recommends vFit to her patients who have had children and gone through menopause, because yes, we talk about perimenopause and menopause, but we also know that when you have children, your body changes. And so with that, you may have to get it back in shape again. vFit has innovative red light technology that helps tone and increase the sensation of tightness. Yes, we saw some of those results that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women have experienced. vFit, an incredible tool to help women finally feel confident again. Confident in all ways, not just in bed, but confident because you start to feel like yourself. And we've got Dr. Prouse. For my patients, vFit is easy, effective, and all natural, a perfect fit. Literally. I remember getting a newsletter, and I hope you've subscribed to the vFit newsletter. It's worth doing just from a standpoint of education, and following vFit on Instagram as well. But there was one person that had said they hadn't felt like themselves in years. And I believe the gal that had written, I can't remember, I think her name might have also been Lauren. And she said something to the effect of she hadn't felt like herself for years, like 10 years. And this made her feel 10 years younger down there, but also in how she felt, because she had now the confidence. When we have a lack of natural hydration, it's not just about sex. It's not just about the razor blades during sex. It's also about how it feels when you're walking in your clothes. It's how you feel as a woman. And so if it weren't for all of the symptoms that we get of menopause, which, by the way, there are over 103 symptoms according to studies, our physicality is just one of them. We know the moods and all of that, but all of it does also tie into some of the psychology. And so when you feel better about yourself, so many of the other things can fall into place. And from what I hear from women that have kind of gotten on the other side of menopause and have taken control of making sure that their body is cooperating, maybe where it hadn't been cooperating, like, again, producing natural hydration. They say that menopause is great. I mean, I can't imagine, necessarily always feeling that way, but, to have the freedom, to have all of the experience behind you, and then on top of it, feel comfortable having sex again, feeling confident in your skin again. Isn't that a wonderful thing? And for such a minimal investment. Now, I'm not suggesting that your vFit in all its forms is not an investment. It's, we're spending our money, our hard-earned money. But what are you sacrificing? Like, what is the cost of not making change? And in addition to that, there's always historically, I shouldn't say that means kind of redundant, but there's historically been such a stigma around female intimate health. Even before doing these shows with Joylux, which I've been doing for over a year now, saying vagina and vulva would not be something I would typically say on social media. And yet now the conversations are happening more and more. And so to know that there is a solution and to not take advantage of it. If it is about cost today, I'm going to remind you, we also have the membership, which gives you essentially a subscription of several products, but also gets you started with vFit for as little, I think, as $169 on a payment plan. So just know that we've thought of the ways that we can help you get to the stage you want to be, which is a joyful state, an overall wellness state. And that's what our goal is today. I'm going to check some comments. If you're watching on social media and you're like, how come Dawn's not reading my comment? Head over to joylux.com. There's a little live shopping menu where video might actually just pop right up. That's where we're checking the comments. And then you're going to see every product I'm talking about, the bundles that we have available for you as well that include the photonic wipes. Plus, we've got She Bar, we've got Let's Spin, and one of the newer additions, the Moisture Melts. We're building up your toolkit of comfort and of a little bit of an insurance policy that you are going to have what you need as far as moisture, whatever state of the day or period of life that you're in. Because sometimes it's, all of these help with moisture, all of them do, but when do you need what? And I'm going to demystify that for you as well. Diane said, okay, Diane, you said you're tearing up here. I'm going to start tearing up, I guarantee you. I'm tearing up a little because I feel so young, alive, and maybe a little sexy for the first time in my life. I'm a bit of a late bloomer. Oh, now good thing I got, well, I think it's waterproof mascara. Diane, I feel you so much. And I hear this, even men that I've met in my life have always said like, gosh, I feel like I'm 18 but they don't, they deal with their own level of what happens when they get older, but they got a nice little blue pill that everybody's not afraid to talk about. And they're not afraid to have advertisements about it on TV. For women, we probably feel like we did when we were like in our mind and in our joyfulness and in our attitude when we were younger, but our body kind of turns on us a little bit. And I hate to say that because it sounds so negative, and I want this show to be a positive experience for you. I don't want it to be everyone complaining about their menopause. That being said, tell us if you're going through something. This is a wonderful community as well. And I want you to feel like you have a voice here, but I also want you to know that we have solutions, and whether it is to help with toning your vagina, right? Or bringing about life to it, the circulation to it, the natural hydration. This is your personal trainer. Red light therapy is not this unknown science to us. It was actually invented by NASA. And if we think about what we've done to help keep our face young and maybe other areas of our body to like eliminate the crepiness under our arms, or going to the gym and toning and building muscle, this is what your vFit does. So if by nothing else, and I understand what this looks like, and so many times I remember presenting when I was at my dad's house and he's looking at like, well, Dawn, why do you have a bunch of vibrators? And he kind of gave me this look as like, what is my daughter doing? And I have to remind everybody that yes, this has vibration, but there's a science behind why the vibration, and all you have to do is look at elite athletes who are training and recovering, how they get, again, some of that expedited by vibration, lymphatic drainage, circulation promotion. And then look at what we do when we go to a spa. Often we're sitting under some sort of lamp that has red light therapy, and it's to help tone and tighten and to produce collagen and improve texture. Hello. What are we down there in our vagina? What are we but tissue and muscle? Same as every other part of our body. It's just, it's more delicate. It's got an incredible purpose. There's a purpose of life that happens with us women. And so to know that once you're past that stage where you're bringing maybe life into the world, obviously from the biology standpoint, I myself don't have children, which can also present other challenges, which is why the vFit is so important as well. But it actually brings life to that area again, as it starts to diminish, especially if you're approaching kind of like a vaginal atrophy. This is useful to you whether or not you are sexually active. This is beneficial for your overall sense of well-being and health. And that's why I say treat it like a personal trainer, and it's not a toy. Although we have some women that experience pleasurable elements because of the vibration. But this really is a tool. And so whatever other benefit you get, then I'm going to say have at, or you have fun with that. But the FDA has deemed this device to be safe and effective, as there have been over 3,000 published studies, mostly written by women, on the safety and efficacy of red light therapy. Now, I get a lot of questions, how long before we start to feel results? Well, Halle Berry herself has said that she felt results just after a few treatments. By the time you get to end of the protocol, which again, everything is in the instructions that you're going to get, as well as how to use your vFit, you're looking, like 8 to 10 weeks to get kind of, I don't want to say the finished stage, but at the stage where then you just do maintenance, because you're not doing this every other day for the rest of your life necessarily. You can, but that's not necessarily what you're doing. You're actually getting to a point where you're in maintenance mode. Imagine being able to go to the gym and after working out every other day or every day, being told that you just have to do it once a week and keep the tone and keep the benefits. We'd be loving that. But this is what your vFit does for you, because we're rebuilding, we're constantly improving all the things that have depleted in a set period of time with a set routine. And we won't see that. We want you to get all the benefits of that red light. We want you to get all the benefits of that gentle heat, which again is one of the 3 mechanisms in addition to the sonic vibration modes that will get you results that allow you to feel younger and to have your body behave younger, your vagina behave younger than it has perhaps in a long time. We used to be so juicy, didn't we? Right? We can get there. Again, and for those of you that need maybe a little extra help, we've got other things for you, like our moisture melts. Now, by the way, if you're watching right now, I'm going to check comments in a second, and you're thinking, how do I get the rose gold? How do I get it with the wipes for only a few dollars more? Go to joylux.com, watch the live event. When you're watching the live event you can swipe through the products if you're watching on your phone. If you're watching on your computer or your tablet, you'll see everything listed, and the featured product, whatever I'm talking about, like Lauren's right on it. She's got the rose gold vFit Get Started set, which also comes with this for the same price as the starter set for the white. But in a second, guess what? And she's doing double duty, so it might take her a couple seconds. If I'm talking about the moisture melt, there she is, boom, right there featured. You can still go back and look at other products, but now we're talking about the moisture melt. So all to say that it's very easy to watch, engage, ask your questions when you're at joylux.com under the live shopping menu, or you should likely see the video come right up. So the moisture melts. Now you might be thinking, well, Dawn said the vFit helps with natural hydration. Yes, this helps your body really work its way toward producing its own natural hydration. So again, making our body behave younger, because we showed you what happens right when our body ages. But the moisture melts, the vaginal hydration melts, the Relief Her is designed to provide you comfort with several ingredients, 5 ingredients, all recognizable, plant-based, that are going to help you in those times that you might need, or to just give you the insurance policy of constant hydration. So how is this different? Because you've probably seen other moisture melts. Well, this has up to 3 times more hyaluronic acid per melt, 15 milligrams. Remember, our body actually produces hyaluronic acid naturally, but as we age, just like our face, that's why we start to be dry everywhere, we produce less of it. So not only are you working toward producing your own natural hydration with the vFit, but now you've got almost like that additional concentrated treatment. The amount that you're getting in the box is a full month's supply. It's a non-hormonal formula, by the way. And again, incredible, incredible ingredients that are going to be time released, so that, let's say you use this at night, which we recommend, through the night, it's going to time release and give you again that hyaluronic acid benefit, which is meant to attract and of course retain that moisture. Coconut oil, we know, is deeply hydrating. Some of you probably have in a pinch used coconut oil down there. We know that. Coconut butter, vitamin E. This is inserted as deep as you can into your vagina. So you just go ahead and you stick your finger on there and you just shove it in. Sorry to not make it sound so romantic, but you're getting it in there. And then do that at night so that you can just chill. Now, I've had this people ask this question a lot as well. With 15 milligrams of hyaluronic acid, is it going to leak out of me? We haven't had anyone say that, but we do, again, recommend you use it at night just for your own sense of comfort. You've done maybe your vFit, maybe you did it before or not. Maybe it was one of your off days on using your vFit, but there's no reason you can't do it on the same day. You put in your vaginal melt and you've got basically, I think it's every 3 days that you may use one. You've got a month's supply, and then you've got the constant hydration. So not everybody needs them. You know who you are, and it's just meant to increase your toolkit to help provide comfort and confidence in whatever situation you're in. Now, speaking of which, some of you might be like, okay, but what about Hallie's lube? Yes, you're also going to get hydration from this. The main purpose of the lube is for essentially sexy time, whether you're using a toy or perhaps you are with a partner. So there are sort of skin-loving ingredients that are in here. Of course, the main purpose, again, relieve pain during sex. Hallie talks about making it not feel like razor blades. So that's why she created this, because it didn't exist, and she created it with Dr. Sarah. Treats vaginal dryness, yes, because again, it's got hyaluronic acid and vitamin E and so many other incredible ingredients. It does enhance comfort during all intimate moments, whether that is solo or same sex or with your partner that is inserting. So in whatever scenario that might be, and also unparalleled hydration. Now, this is unscented. So this is not one of those goopy, gross lubes that you're getting at the drugstore, which, by the way, I don't know who's formulating them. I trust Dr. Sarah and I trust Joylux, who, again, a company led by females that understands our female body and also wants us to have elegant products. This is an elegant product. It's got a ton of hydration. This is the slip though. So the main purpose, just to make sure there's no confusion over some of the products that we have, and you can see everything there is right at joylux.com. This has a slip to it. So this isn't like eventually it will absorb in, of course, but it's meant to not absorb quickly the way a hydration product would, because it's meant to keep like slip, right? So to avoid friction, painful friction, as Hallie said it, to get spinning again. And so you know what that means. So that's what the lubricant is. We do actually have a bundle. It's called the Home and Away bundle that saves you a few bucks if you pick these up together. Also available separately. So this one 40 mils, this one 60 mils. This one is in a squeezy tube. This one is glass bottle. Same formula, just squeeze or pump. That's kind of all it is. We say they both actually could fit in your carry-on because this is only 60 mils, but this is kind of a nice little tighter package. You can shove it in your purse, stick it in your shoes if you're sort of in a carry-on and preserving space. But the Home and Away is kind of nice. So just like I think it was Jessica who said she has 2 vFits, one for each location, maybe that's how you're using this as well. Great buy today, of course, in that Home and Away. So yes, hydration, but the main purpose is your intimacy, whatever intimacy means for you. I want to go to now what is our vulva hydrator. So if we think of a moisturizer for our vulva, and just to be, I can't believe I might actually have a little demonstration. I don't have when I was in Seattle with Colette and we did a live event, I guess last month or maybe a month and a half ago, she had this plushy vagina. Like, where do you even find a toy vagina? Well, that came out really poorly. It was meant as a demonstration model that they use for sexual education. So anyone listening, don't at me. But I guess I can use this. So just again, brief little anatomy, and I'm not assuming everyone here doesn't know, but let's make sure we're all speaking the same language. So the vagina inside, that's right. This is going inside the vagina. The vulva is the outside. Okay, so we know that part of your let spin is gonna go inside your vagina because it's probably on something or being used to assist glide. We know that this is going inside your vagina. So all of this is helping on the inside, okay? Now, if we think of the outside, we wanna talk about the vulva. So the part that we see, right? The larger sort of easy to see part. We have a moisturizer, and you might be thinking, why the heck, grandma never used a moisturizer in a vulva? She probably did. But it would have been, you know, again, probably coconut oil or something like that. And I know a lot of women do that right now, but let me tell you, yes, do we have that in here? Yes, we do. However, we have other ingredients in our Revitalize Her, which is your vulva serum. Now, the reason it's not like a vulva lotion is because who wants to put like a lotion on there? We need fast absorption. We need something that is elegant and easy to use. And so the moisturizer for your vulva that we have, Revitalize Her, is actually a serum consistency. Now, in addition to this beautiful rose gold, which I'm not saying you're matching up your moisturizers with, but come on, how pretty is this? I mean, it is nice to use pretty things, isn't it? It's nice to be able to put something on your counter that looks pretty. It really is. And this just looks like your facial serum, but it's not. It's specially designed, again, by Dr. Sarah, board-certified OBGYN, as well as the team at Joylux. Again, science-based, the ingredients formulated to really balance with your pH, not conflict with your microbiome. And it's got this beautiful texture. It will absorb nicely. It's got a beautiful fragrance. You'll probably smell like the coconut very lightly, but it's more the mandarin orange blossom oil. It is so beautiful. And I don't know, Lauren, if we have the ingredient deck and some of the ingredients, but vitamin E, you can see the coconut oil. The mandarin orange blossom is absolutely gorgeous. And it really is, I'm going to say, the only scented product that we have, other than our She Bar, which also has the same mandarin orange essential oil, essentially, okay? When you look at this, please don't confuse this for a soap, because we always hear all the time, don't use soap down there, it's not good to douche, all the things. This really is a cleansing bar, and the second you use it, you'll notice it, you'll just feel it, you can even see the bubbles different. But OBGYN, pH balance, all clean, avocado oil, vitamin E, coconut oil, it's absolutely beautiful. Jojoba. So really beautiful product here as well. And we do have a 4-pack, which saves you a few dollars. So it's not quite like getting a bar free, but hey, it's nice to save, especially if you know. And we're getting into gift giving season. And I would say this actually would be very nice for your bridesmaids. You don't have to tell them it's easily used for their vulva in intimate areas, even if they used it for their body. But hey, girls share girl things and girls help girlfriends out. And so this is your cleansing bar. Why do we need to do that? We've been told so many times our vagina is a self-cleaning part of our body, which it is. This, by the way, is not going in your vagina. This is, used for everywhere outside of your vagina. So your vulva is totally fine, unlike other soaps, which would have harsh soap products, which are not good for you. It doesn't go inside, and it can also be used for other areas of your body. So this is a beautiful product that maybe you would want to gift. And honestly, at the price we have for 4, it's a really, really good buy. I'm going to take a look. Oh, I see some of you have picked up our set of 4-pack. Marcia, and then we've got people that didn't put her name. Oh, and I'm glad. North Sea, you just got the Relief Her. I hope you let us know what you think of it. These are all top rated, by the way, on the website. And I'd love to see your review there. I know not everyone feels comfortable putting their name. You may even have an opportunity to keep it anonymous, but it's really important for you to share what your experience is, because this is how, we take the stigma out of lack of hydration or laxity or, wanting to bring back the youth of our vagina. The only way that we can help other women is by talking about what we go through. And it's interesting because whatever it is that we think we're going through alone, I can almost guarantee you we're not. And Dr. Sarah does such a great job from an education standpoint on the Joylux Instagram page, which I highly recommend you sign on for. It's not an Instagram page where it's like they're all trying to sell you stuff. In fact, on Instagram, it's really all about education. And then obviously there's an opportunity for you to find solutions to problems that you're dealing with, but it's a primary community where a lot of women gather. I suspect there's probably men that also check in, because every man's got women in their life. And a good man in your life will be curious, even if they don't necessarily ask you about it, they will be curious about what you're going through, or they'll certainly notice, especially if you're dealing with intimacy issues because you don't feel confident or comfortable anymore, the best way that the men that are watching right now, because I know some of you are snooping in on social media, and that's fine. I know you're curious, what's Dawn holding? You should be curious about the women and what they're going through in your life. Because if you could at any point even just say, hey, I saw something on social media, here's a website you should check out. And even if you left it at that, I promise you the women in your life will be so grateful that you opened up that door and also offered a solution. And I know that's why a lot of you are here today. And a lot of you have shared information with the other women in your lives. You may have a daughter. You may have a granddaughter who's 18, 19, 20, who has menopause and perimenopause so far out of their purview, like, because they just think they're young forever. And we all thought that. We all thought that. But I promise you, if you think of this like essentially like a personal trainer, you start to realize that what if we could also start everything on the right track and maintain all the things that start to disintegrate as we go older. I mean, that's why a lot of us go to the gym when we're younger and never necessarily have to worry about muscle tone as much, or have to worry about, maybe, again, not trying to generalize, but maybe gaining as much weight as because they built up these systems and these routines. And so there's no reason at all, if you are someone wanting to keep your vagina in shape, that you don't look at this and to think of all the benefits that you'll reap early so that you don't have to deal with the issues later. But if you are somebody who is already dealing with, let's take a look again at some of the results women have experienced. If you're someone who is already experiencing a lack of sensation, how about having such great odds? Like, look at these percentages of having improved sensation, having increased vaginal hydration. That's your own natural hydration, your body reverting back and bringing its youth back, feeling more confident. And interesting that it doesn't necessarily say in bed or with sex. I'm sure that's part of it, but just walking out into the world going, I feel really good. I feel really good. That's confidence that is evident on all areas, mentally, the way you perform in business, in intimate moments, which is why when we think of intimate wellness, I invite you to think of your intimate wellness to be as part of your overall wellness. It's funny that we have to segment it right now, right? We often talk about sexual wellness, intimate wellness, nutritional wellness. It's all about living our best life. I think of Oprah when Halle Berry went on with the Let's Spin. And also, don't forget, the Plus device, this very device is the device that Halle has basically said, I'm in. She was introduced to this again in a sort of a medical setting. And so much so that this was something she put her name behind, because this is a collaboration with her line, her brand called Respin, which is why she has partnered with Joylux and, of course, Dr. Sarah and the scientists and the medical professionals who know what all of these products can do. And then to have her win an award, to Joylux to win an award, a Menopause O award, think of it, right? Like the O awards, because of what this can do. Now, I'm not going to lie. In the article, if you read it, you can actually look up this article yourself whenever you want. We're not just putting up things to show off. We want you to read the article. And the writer had said, looks like a vibrator, elephant in the room. So I'm gonna address that right now. Think of our female anatomy. This is the shape it has to be. And the size that it is right now, and sometimes we get women asking about the size, was based on, not that there's an average anything, but sort of law of averages, okay? We recognize for some women, maybe they need to build themselves up to this. So maybe you're doing it, instead of, 6 minutes, maybe you're going to start with 3. It'll just take you a little longer to get to the results, but maybe you need to build up your stamina for this. And it's not that you need stamina, but just getting used to what it feels like, especially if it's been a while since you had something inserted in your vagina. Some of us are that way. And so you've got to get reacclimated. That's just your body needs to get back in shape again. So do you need maybe a little lube? Listen, we're out of the photonic gel, which I know some of you have been waiting for, which does, by the way, increase the essentially the 45% more power, more energy to get you to the finished state earlier. Does have a little slip. We're out of stock on that. Not to worry, you're still getting great results without it. It just, there's additional benefits. It does have slip. We're out of it. Could you use a lube in the meantime if you need a little help with the insertion? Yes. If you're going to use a lube, though, can I recommend the Let's Spin? You may have a lube at home, and I'm not saying you can't use it, but what I can tell you is that the lube we have, the way it's been formulated, backed by OBGYN expertise and science, and women backed, that's the one I would endorse. I can't tell you about the one you might have in your cupboard, but could you use a lube? Yes, that's what I would recommend if you feel you need a little help. And again, the protocol, it all comes in your instructions. This, by the way, is the Plus model. This is the one that comes in the red box, and Halle Berry writes a little note. She talks about her journey through menopause, how it encouraged her to reimagine Respin, which was the lube she created. But again, this is the Respin collab. So that's the Halle Berry collab with the special design, because she wanted something a little fancier, to help you embrace this life phase with confidence. Together, we're committed to enhancing your sexual health, knowing intimate wellness is key to your overall well-being. Let's celebrate and embrace this journey together and live life fully and fearlessly. You get that right there from her. And there you go. So that protocol is in your instructions. So if Dawn's going fast, or if you're like, I didn't write that down, first of all, you have access to the app. You can all download the Joylux app right now. Well, let's wait till after the show, but you can download it later. You just find it on the App Store or Google Play. And from there, you get lots of great information. And I think over time, there probably will be more community and more educational content. There already is access to it, and all of you have access to that. But for those of you that pick up one of our vFit devices, again, we have two classic options, both the white and the rose gold, and we've got the plus in the chrome. You can actually, I'm going to say, sorry, my menopausal fog's going. It basically sets reminders for you for your treatments, so that you're like, oh my God, okay, am I supposed to do it today or tomorrow? It'll keep track of them for you. And also you can control the vFit with it as well. So yes, of course, you can turn it on, off, treatment times and all that through manual. This is the brain. This does not get inserted. This is the part that gets inserted, but you can also control it with the app. Potato, potato, it's whatever you like. If the technology of an app overwhelms you, then you don't need to use the app at all. It's there. Everything is to support you. What you need to know about the vFit in all the options is, again, how to use it, which I've been showing you. So I'm going to check comments in a sec just to make sure everything's been nice and clear, but also so that you can have something that's going to give you results that don't require hormones. You might be on hormone replacement therapy. This does not contradict or conflict. Maybe you're doing Kegels. I'm going to give you a gold star if you're one of the few that actually know how to do them properly and consistently. Not me. Every time I'm in the grocery store at a what is it, like a crossing light, I'm always thinking, oh, I should probably do some Kegels here, right? Okay, I mean, I'm not consistent by any means, and I still don't know if I do them right. But if you are, that's great. That's still going to help with your toning and tightening. The vFit will help with those things that the Kegels do as well. It may fill some of the gaps, because just like if you're doing a bicep curl one way, one little shift works a different muscle. So the vFit could do that for you as well, especially with the multiple vibration modes, 4 additional in the Plus model. Each one of these ones, by the way, can be transformed into the Plus model. Simple software upgrade. I know that I think Jessica said she upgraded one of them. So that's an option for you if you like the design of these ones more. Totally your choice. And you don't have to do it right now either. If you purchase one of the classic ones in like 6 months or a year down the road, you're like, you know what? I'm ready for the Plus. I want to go up to the 12 minutes. You can actually register for that software upgrade at any point. You don't have to send your vFit in. You're not going to be without it. You don't have to do anything fancy. It will just, I think it's through the app or something like that. But anyways, the folks at Joylux can help you with that. But you can also help with the tissue. Right? So that's the thing that the Kegels won't do. It'll help with your pelvic floor, which the vFit is designed to do to strengthen, which means you minimize all the things that happen with a weak pelvic floor. Don't sneeze or cough too much or jump on a trampoline. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. But this is also going to help with the tissue with that red light. And of course, the circulation with that vibration. All of these mechanisms, they exist in other things, fitness equipment, Medi-Spa equipment, all, shoulder, fix a shoulder, they're using red light therapy pads. So all of this stuff exists in other forms. It's just not until Joylux came around did they go, gosh, Dr. Sarah, team at Joylux, scientists, laser scientists, what can we do to help women as everything in their body starts to age, including their vagina? And so that is why this is your well-rounded personal trainer, and not just the personal trainer that teaches you how to do squats. That's a one-trick pony. This is all the tricks. Actually, it's not, it's all science. I'm going to check on our comments. And by the way, if anyone has questions and you're watching on social media, please join us at joylux.com/pages/streams, or there should be a little menu item, or the video might also just come up. If you're watching on replay, just know that you can still watch pieces of this. You can even watch it, I think, on fast speed if you like. You can purchase at any point as long as we have supply. And we have a couple of exclusive new bundles that we put in there where you get the photonic wipes with your vFit Classic. So whether it's the rose gold or the white one, and it's just for like, I think it's $5 or $6 more, which saves you actually quite a bit versus buying separately. And then you may wish to stock up on a few extras. Oh, good. Marcia added the intimacy gel. Perfect. I'm glad for you. Let us know what you think. Again, I mean, Halle Berry's not just attaching her name to just any old thing. And I think if you've ever used a lubricant before, I don't even want to say I think, I promise that you'll notice a difference. No, there's no blueberry scent or taste or anything like that. It's completely odorless. We had someone ask the other day, like, what if, like for oral sex, right? You're already playing around and then it's all clean. So you shouldn't have to worry. I mean, I'm not saying someone's doing shots of the lube. Can I get a laugh on that? Give it a little hearts or laugh or something. But that's come up in conversation. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just saw that. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. And it's completely flavorless and odorless and completely clean. Like you'll recognize all the ingredients on there. Good. I like all the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate the interaction. Yes, a number of you are picking up the She Bar. That's awesome. I'm really happy for you. It looks like a few of you have picked up, more than a few of you have picked up the vFit. Some of you are loving the Halle Berry collab, the Respin collab. This again is the plus. If at some point, and you've maybe added to your cart, which I see a few of you have, first of all, don't forget to close out. Very important, because we have had some products, not necessarily the vFits, but some products that have sold out and we're waiting for restock. So if something is in stock, I highly recommend you grab it. I certainly don't want to pressure you. That said, the sooner you get on this, the sooner you start to feel the results. If at any point you pick up one of these and you're like, darn it, I wish I would have got the plus model, but I really love the rose gold, or I really love the classic white. Simple upgrade, call customer service or go online and you're just going to add, essentially, I think it's called, what is it called? I think it's a plus upgrade is what it's called. We also have the membership if you want to break up the payments and also get access to some great products on a subscription. So all the details are there. Okay, Marcia, I wasn't sure if I should get the Respin bundle or the vFit Gold bundle. So first of all, the Respin doesn't come in a bundle. And by Respin, I'm assuming, okay, first of all, let me go through this. So when we talk Respin is Halle Berry's brand, okay? She has collaborated with Joylux on these. So this is a bundle, which are the lubes, and this is the Joylux Respin vFit Plus. So this does not come in a bundle, whereas the other two that we have do. These two come in a bundle that includes the wipes, and for extra value, and frankly the same price as getting this bundle, you can get this bundle. So this is called the Rose Gold vFit Get Started Kit. And this is called the vFit Starter Kit, exactly the same price. So if you're not opposed to a little rose gold, which I think is like kind of this jewelry grade rose gold, I mean, they all work the same. So now we're talking if value, why wouldn't you want a nice little free bag? Look how cute it is. It's also, by the way, and listen, I mean, obviously none of you are here for the bag. That's not the way you're joining because you want to learn about the vFit and how menopause is more joyful. But the little accessories we get can make for a lot of joy. And what I like about this, and I'm just going to show you, and you can't buy it separately. I know sometimes we get comments like, hey, can we get that separately? Because you think like, oh, you can also use it for like a makeup bag if you want it or whatever. It's actually got two sides. So now what does this look like? There we go. So there's two zippers. So you could put your vFit in there. You could put your lube in there if you want. Maybe, you can put your wipes in there, your charger. And again, it's got two sides, which is kind of nice. So I love that that comes with the rose gold starter kit. And for the exact same price. So you're getting the bag for free. And by the way, when you're getting the bundles, it's less of a price than if you picked this up and then later went, oh, darn, I should pick up some wipes. You're going to pay more for the wipes. So the bundle best value. And just to be clear too, this is kind of I'm going to say the only product that you're not using in an intimate area. This is not a body wipe. This is a wipe to clean your vFit. So you might be thinking, well, okay, what if I don't have wipes? Oh my gosh, I run out. And so it's okay. You can use warm water and a gentle soap. It's fine. These though are created specifically to protect the materials that your vFit is made of, because you've got, medical grade silicone and all sorts of things on here. So that's the main purpose. It's basically to keep antibacterial. Let's put it that way. And then of course you just let it dry and that's totally fine. So just to be pointing out, that's not a body wipe. Okay, Marcia said, just answered my question. I wanted the Respin and the vFit Plus maybe. Yeah, and if you like, Marcia, if you like maybe you're like, I really want the rose gold, then you're just upgrading this. It's a $99 upgrade, which basically puts it at the same price of this. So it's not like we're going, oh, if you upgrade, let's get more money, like charge like more than this one, which includes it. It's a software upgrade. This one comes with the upgrade already in it. That's the simplest version. I know I probably made it clear as mud. That's the simplest version. And you don't have to decide right now, Marcia. So right now, if you're kind of going, you know what, I just want to get started, don't feel pressure. You don't need to get up to that 12 minutes on day one. You're working your way up no matter what. Yes, you have extra vibration modes, but you have plenty of vibration modes with your classic, whether it's the rose gold or the white. They all turn on the same way. One's just got more modes, few advanced features again, and also 12-minute session time, but they all turn on. You press the button to get your session time every other day, up until around, 8 to 10 weeks. And then you're in maintenance mode, which is like once a week, and maybe not even that for some of you, like you'll know. And then they all have vibration. They all have vibration modes. And they all have that LED. And some of you might be thinking, okay, vibration, your husband might be going, Let me say, remember, vibration, when we get a vigorous massage or when we're standing on a vibrating plate, if we're an athlete, or maybe you've done that at the gym, or maybe you've seen hockey players do it, or elite athletes like snowboarders, like Julia, who used to come on to talk about a vibrating plate that we sold at the shopping channel. For her, she used it for recovery and for training for lymphatic drainage and all of that. So all of these mechanisms already increase, or already exist. But why do we need several vibration modes? Well, remember, what are we calling this, everybody? We're calling it a personal trainer for your vagina. So if you were going to the gym and you were doing bicep curls, you might be doing them like this, and you keep doing them like this, and you keep doing them like this, same weight, same everything. Eventually, your body gets a little bit used to the same thing. Like, let's be honest, right? You're always going to benefit from doing bicep curls. So we're not diminishing the benefit. But if you went to a personal trainer, they'd say, okay, let's increase the weight. Or they would say, angle this way, or do the bicep curl this way, or do it this way. And now we're working different muscles. So we're constantly training the muscle to stay active and engaged. And so when we think of our vFit, I'm going to grab the white one. So again, the white one and the rose gold, same, just look different. Chrome is the plus, okay? So if we grab our vFit and we think of this as our personal trainer, we're going to go, perfect. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think of the position, because the position is insert into the vagina. But the modes of the vibration are going to keep my vagina engaged. Why are we doing that? Well, because as we age, remember, all over our body, we have no problem. Isn't it funny spending, 30 or 40, or in some cases, if somebody's got a big budget and loves some of these very luxury high-end skincare products, hundreds of dollars on skincare so that our face doesn't age as quickly, and so it doesn't look like it's aged, because sometimes there's optics as well. With the vFit, we're really working again from internal but non-invasive on bringing youth back, if I can say it just in the very barest of bones, to our vagina. Circulation, what's that going to do? Well, think about it. When we get circulation, our blood is flowing. Blood flow and blood pumping and all that is super, super important. We know that. When we're young, we don't think about it as much. We don't even think about skincare. When we're young, we don't even use skincare, right? And actives, and we don't worry about all that because we're naturally plump. We're like a grape. Bounce back, pinch it. No, nothing is sticking up. I want you right now, some of you probably have, like even me, I'm noticing I'm 53, I'll be 54 in the summer. Pull your skin. How fast does it bounce back? Does it bounce back? Sleep the wrong way on your pillow, and I got a line that lasts for the day now, whereas it never did. And we know that if our face is moisturized, the lines go away quicker, right? Because we're moisturized. We're not, holding on to that form of whatever, we don't basically turn into a grape or a grape into a raisin, right? Grape, that's the fruit. Raisin, same fruit, but dried up. Best way to say it. Probably wasn't as smooth as I would have liked, but that's the best way to say it. Does this make sense to everyone? Oh, good. Someone has added the Revitalize Her. So that's the moisturizer, my friends. That is the moisturizer. Don't forget, for your vulva. Little goes a long way. If you decide you're like, you know what? I love this so much. I want to use this on my face. You'd be lucky. The price of this at $49, you can't buy a face serum with the quality of ingredients that are in here. Now, the big thing to note is that while you can use this on your face, you do not want to use your other skincare like serums on your vagina, on your vulva. I just went and gave you a lesson on your vulva because there are actives and retinols and vitamins. You do not want to do any of that stuff down there. This, though, is very friendly for your face. And of course, it is built to be used on your vulva by Dr. Sarah. Let's take a picture of her with Colette, who's the founder of Joylux. This is all good for you formulations. And of course, with Halle Berry, Dr. Sarah is very much a part of the formulation of the Let's Spin, which is why if you have the confidence of what you're buying today, and if you need one more validation, is to remember who this team is. Now I'm going to present, we're almost out of time, but I can't forget, I always say this is one of my favorite products, and yet I always wait until we're out of time. It's been very warm in parts of the country. I'm in Canada, by the way. So if those of you that are, maybe out in the East, you've probably seen very, very hot temperatures. And it's, of course, time of life, the heat's sort of always on, as we know. So I want to introduce you quickly to Cold Her. Game changer. Perimenopause, menopause, hot weather, runner, somebody grab these. They are so great. They're inserts that go into your bra, and it's got patented technology that basically changes its phase. So as it starts to absorb the heat from your body, it basically starts to melt. So it basically, I like to call it almost like an empathy insert. It basically takes what you don't want, which is the heat, and gives you back what you do and what you need, which is the coolness. Now, there is a point where you've got to either grab a second set or you've got to let them harden up again. So the actual texture of this is almost like a coconut oil. So it's not that it's not flexible, but it's pretty solid. Now, I've had one in my bra for the better part of an hour. Well, there you go. So here's what happens once it's kind of used up. And by the way, when I say used up, these are reusable, but used up for this moment, it goes completely liquid. I got a little bit left in it. But basically, this is what's been keeping me cool. So not as obvious as like a fan that you buy on Amazon, very discreet, very comfortable. But again, there's no telltale that you're going to have a hot flash because it catches it at the source, which is your chest, and moves its way up. It goes right in your bra. And I like to say pick up a couple of these if you can, because like Jessica, who has 2 vFits, this is actually really easy. You keep one set in your purse, set in the nightstand. Wedding season around the corner. You don't even have to be going through menopause or having hot flashes. If you are, there's a nursing mother who maybe is like, oh my gosh, my nipples are sore. Perfect. These are great. They're not going to give you like the freezer burn that the peas or the ice pack is going to give you. Summer wedding, destination wedding. Perfect. Mother-in-law, mother of the bride, all the bridesmaids. This can go right in their evening gowns and in their bridesmaids dresses. They will love you for it. Doesn't break the bank. Innovative technology. Continually winning awards. Joylux is incredible reviews for our vFit. I'm going to just take a last look at the questions to see if anyone has any other questions. Yes, and by the way, thank you to Lauren, who's moderating and working graphics and everything. She's answering a lot of your questions. Some of them are obviously, more personalized, so she can answer those. And one quick question. Marcia said, and I know it was answered, but I'm going to ask it just in case someone else wants to hear about it. Multitasking, is there a lubricant that we have to use with a vFit? So we usually have what's called the photonic gel, which does have a bit of a slip and also has some other benefits to use with your vFit. It is out of stock. In the meantime, go ahead and use your Let's Spin. I'm just going to make the call on that one, because I realize many of us might feel we need a little assistance with that, especially until we start building up our natural hydration. So feel free to use your Let's Spin on that, which is actually why it might be really great for you to pick up the Home and Away, because now you've got a little extra. And I think that could be really beneficial. Payment plan, Vani, yes, it's I can never I think it's called the membership for the payment plan. What that does is it lets you get started with vFit, I think for $169, plus you get on a bit of a subscription plan with some other products that we know you will love, for instance, and I can't say what it is, but like products like the Revitalize Her, products like the Photonic wipes and other elements of it. So feel free to look on the page that you're watching right now. There should be details, and I think Lauren, let's put up the customer care as well. Yeah, thank you for asking that, Vani. We want to make sure that there is every opportunity for you to get the vFit home. We don't want there to be a reason you can't. We want you to get the benefits that we talked about. We want you to get back to an overall sense of well-being and confidence. These are all the results that women, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women, have talked about getting from the vFit, and of course, the products that we have that coordinate so beautifully. Part of building your toolkit as a woman, not even just as a menopause and perimenopause, or as a woman, this is part of your toolkit to make your life more joyful. And so whatever we can do, we want to do. Please feel free to call Joylux at any point. Look at the reviews, watch these replays, watch the replay and read the comments that show up. And maybe there's a commonality in something that you were wondering about. Oh, Ronnie, my vFit just got delivered while on this live. Excited to get going on better intimate health. Thank you for the clarification on being able to use the Let's Spin while waiting for the gel. Yeah, it won't offer you like the additional benefits, like the 45% more kind of power. However, from the slip standpoint, absolutely. And again, formulated by the same people. So I think there's a comfort in that. So yes, in a pinch, 100%. I'm so excited for you, Ronnie. And I love that even though you purchased the vFit, you continue to watch the Menopause More Joyful show. So I'm really glad, because that means that you're learning a lot and you're feeling the sense of community. So thank you to everyone watching. Again, if you have any lingering questions, you're welcome to call Joylux at any time. And of course, check out their social media. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the hearts and laughs. And thanks for giving my menopausal brain, which we all tend to have. But the clarity is right here in front of you. And today is the day where you get a chance to make that move, to not settle for the stigma that's out there, and to not settle for what you assume is something that you have to live with. There's some stuff we have to live with, I get it, but this is something that you get to control, and you get to control it with the help of Joylux and me. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Menopause Made More Joyful.